Hey, what's up guys? Carl here. Happy Friday. It's not Freehand Friday for me, it's Dublin Friday, only because I don't have a freehand pipe. So I'm smoking some Rattray's Marlin Flake in my Eric Nording Royal Flush Bet Dublin. So, sorry I haven't made a video in a couple weeks. I'm sorry I don't make them as often as I used to. I get busy with other things, how we all are. There's just times where we don't feel like making video or whatever, because we all have lives outside of YouTube. Some of us get busy with a lot of other things, so we all have other priorities that are more important. Just like me and everyone else, we all love YouTube. We all love being a part of the pipe community. So I know we all just try to, it's summertime. We're all busy out doing stuff. So I've noticed pretty much a lot of us aren't making videos as much as we normally would. But something I want to talk to you guys about today. So when I've been driving, I've had some places I've had to go today, and whenever I was driving, I've probably had like almost 3 people come close to hitting my car today. This morning I went to the bank to go check out our account, see how much money we had in there, like I normally do, just so I can see what our budget is, make sure we have what we need for bills and things like that. And so that was about like 10:30 this morning, and I had this person that was in a big van, like it was a Chevy, I think. I don't know what it was, but it was like this big white Chevy van, and this person literally was like on my ass, like pretty much the entire time they were behind me. And on this road, the speed limit's 35 miles an hour. So, and this car was probably going like 40 or 45 behind me. And so, but the entire time this person was behind, they were literally like right on my ass. And so there would be a couple times, they'd back off a little bit from me. Then next thing I'd look, they'd be right back behind me. And so I went into the next lane, and like just so I could get away from that car. And so then once I got away from that, I went back into the lane I needed to be in order to get to the bank. And so then wife and I went to the grocery store because we needed to get some more, because both our cars burn a little oil, so we always have to put oil in our cars. So we went to the store to get some oil. When we left, when we were leaving the parking lot, literally right after I pulled out of my parking spot and I started going, because I'm one of those people that pays attention when I drive, and there was a parking spot that was open, so there was a parking spot that was here, and then the one right in front of it. So when I started going forward, this stupid kid that looked like he was probably like 17, 18 years old comes like zooming out of this parking spot. I have to hit my brakes, and so luckily I wasn't going, because I don't, you shouldn't go fast in a parking lot. And so I had to hit my brakes, and this kid just like looks at me, smiles, and he's like, "Sorry about that, yo." And I was like, "Dude, you're a freaking idiot." And then he just goes off on his own little merry way. I start going up because I have to get to the stop line in the parking lot, so I could turn where else I needed to go. Next thing I know, I start hearing this car honking, and my wife looked out the window, and she looked at this old lady. She goes, "Hey!" And there was this old lady that started reversing out of her parking spot while the tail end of my car was like right behind her car. And so the car that was behind me had to honk because I was paying attention looking forward, and so because I was waiting for cars, because there's cars passing by, and I was getting ready to go, and so we hear this honk, and like I said, this lady just starts reversing, while my car is still, like my back end of my car is still behind her, and so if it and this lady like hit her brakes as soon as she heard the horn, and she just looked, and so then she just looked around like like what's going on, huh? Like and like I said, it was this old lady. It was probably like 70, 80 maybe, I don't know. And I really don't know what it is with people. When I got home, when we were driving, when we were driving the rest of the way home, like I don't know what it is with people that like either they just for some reason had it out to hit my car today to try to hit my car, or like people, or like the sun's making people stupid, or just not pay attention, or whatever the deal is today, or I mean, it just goes to people, if you're gonna drive, you need I mean, there's something you guys need to, that people should still know, after you still graduate, even after years and years after being out from driver's ed and everything else. It's still, for one, don't speed in a parking lot. 2, don't tailgate people. 3, if you're pulling out a parking spot, pay attention. I just don't understand why so many people just don't pay attention when they're driving. And because for one, I don't need you hitting my car, because you're costing, even though insurance will cover damage and things, it's still affect. No, I don't want to have to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that type of stuff. Whether you have insurance, and your insurance covers everything, or whatever, it's still a fact. People don't want to deal with that stuff. So, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to deal with that too, because for one, if you hit somebody, that's just going to get you a ticket. Plus, you're going to have to deal with all that other crap too, of having to pay money to get your car fixed and all this stuff, and so I really just don't understand people. There's certain reasons there. I mean, they have set speed limits on certain roads, and so people just pay attention to what you're doing. If you're in a hurry to get somewhere, for one, maybe that should teach you to leave a little bit earlier than you think you should. If you leave a little bit earlier, it's not a bad thing. The most that happens is you'll get to the place you need to go earlier than you expect, and you just have to wait a little bit. But you know what? Me, I do that all the time. Especially if there's a place where I don't know where it's at, I'll leave probably at an hour before. Say if I have an appointment at 3 o'clock at a place I don't even know, I'll usually leave my house an hour before. So I'll leave my house usually around like 2 if I have an appointment at 3 to get to someplace I don't know. That way I know it gives me plenty of time to find a place if I know exactly how long it'll take me to get to the destination I'm going to. So it's not a bad thing. Whenever I go to work, I always get to work at least 10, 15 minutes early, because for one, I don't know what the traffic is going to be like. 2, it's usually a good thing to show. It's always a good thing to show up to work early, anyways, because then it gives you time to be ready, to get ready for your shift, and all that stuff. So my main point is, people, if you're going to be driving on the road, just pay attention. It's not a difficult thing to do. It's not a difficult thing just to look in your mirrors, make sure no one's behind you when you're going to be leaving somewhere. It's not complicated. Okay? So I know I'm not the only person that hates this type of stuff. So I've had conversations with other people about all these kinds of things too. And so anyways, I'm gonna cut this video because I'm at like the 10-minute mark right now, and so I can go on and on about this topic. So just wanted to do this rant. So this is actually my first YouTube rant, I think. And so once again, people, just if you're driving, pay attention. So if you're in a hurry, maybe that should teach you to leave a little bit earlier than you think you should. So whatever, if your appointment or whatever, it's not more important than your safety and another person's safety. So anyways, I'm gonna cut this. So happy Friday, everybody. Enjoy whatever you're smoking, and I'll talk to you guys later.